This video will change lives. How do I know that? Well, this changed my life. This is how I built a $500,000 per year high profit lifestyle business at just 21 years old. This is my full story. This is my exact funnel that I'm currently running to produce this revenue. So I'm going to be fully transparent and sharing everything with you guys. Just make sure you watch to the end so you get full clarity on exactly how you can do the same. Now, for some proof, because it's very important I show you proof, these are some different payment processes. I put the exact dollar amount as of recording this here, and if you add these up, that equals around $496,000. However, I obviously have affiliate commission, I have a new SaaS I've launched, and I've got a payment or two on PayPal, so that equals over 500,000, but I thought I'd be conservative rather than inflate this number because I want to be honest. So I want to mention very, very quickly that this is mostly profit. You'll see a lot of people jump to $1 million a month, big numbers, even $1 million a year, $2 million a year. However, I'm in the industry and I know that a lot of them have 50-50 partners. A lot of them have high overheads. A lot of them are paying tax at a high percentage. So in reality, yes, there are people making a few $100,000 per month or $1 million a year, $2 million a year, but maybe they only take home the same amount. Whereas I would rather produce 500,000 or more, but keep most of it. It just makes sense logically. So my values are like, I don't want to take sales calls because I'm naturally introverted. I only want to work 4 to 5 hours per day. And I want a high leverage lifestyle business where I can travel, where I can do what I want when I want. And that's what I'm going to be explaining in this video. So you really do need to watch to the end to be able to replicate this, or at least get an idea of how you can do the same. Now, let's go right back to the start. I just wanted to mention that first and foremost because it's important. So let's go to the start. Here I am at 18 years old, not in the best state. You can see my bank account was quite low, and that's actually like the balance. The real balance was like £100, like 150 USD. And I obviously left school. I had no one who I knew delve into entrepreneurship. I was the only one. All my friends went to university. So yeah, not ideal because I was pretty lonely. But I started posting on TikTok. I thought it's better to do something than nothing. I posted on TikTok. It was like a fitness account because I was into the gym at that time. And do keep watching because I'm going to explain how I transitioned this into like Upwork and then into YouTube and how I just built an overall funnel so you can replicate this from someone that's been there, done that, and most likely I was once in your position. So it's really important you do watch to the end of this video. Now, I did post on TikTok and I did see some success from like views. However, I tried to launch a clothing brand off my gym account and I did quite well. Like I was getting some fitness people. You can see Alex Eubank. I had some fitness people comment, because I was making videos about just like influencers at the time and just my gym content, my stuff. And I tried to launch a clothing brand from my account. I think I got it to like 20k followers, but it flopped. I had no marketing capabilities. I didn't understand how to, drive demand, how to build a newsletter. So realistically, it didn't convert at all. I didn't sell a single one. I then tried to dropship dog kennels. That sounds so dumb. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But I want to be honest and just give you what I tried. I tried crypto. Everything failed. And I was like, cool, I really need to switch this because something has to work, but it wasn't any of these. And the first money I made online came from Upwork. I did a editing gig for a web designer. And I was just editing a few videos of his, made a bit of money. I then got a UGC role from another client, and that was commission. So I was getting paid based on views, and I would just make TikToks, and I would try and go viral on there. I think I did go viral a couple times for him. So yeah, made some money on there. I then did some consulting. I then did, what did I do? Oh, I then ran a virtual assistant kind of agency after the consulting, and that got pretty like decent. However, it was way too stressful. I got burnt out. I was getting so like many VAs, so virtual assistants off Upwork to do appointment setting for my like coaching clients who are also like service providers, I think a couple like agencies, but I was doing like appointment setting and I was using VAs to set those appointments. I actually got banned from Upwork because I took so many virtual assistants off that platform, and I was like, okay, so I listened to Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett, I was learning a lot of his lessons at the time, and he said, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you'll work until you die. You watching this, and me, I guess, don't want to work until we're old. That's just inevitable. I can pretty much guarantee that. So I was like, I need to find something that can be more leveraged than Upwork, because if you're watching this, maybe you've tried chasing clients, maybe you've tried manually, appointment setting and stuff, and it's just like not it. It's okay to get like a few thousand per month, but it's not a good thing to sustainably bring in income. I need to find a growth engine, and that's when I delve into the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rules, and these are so important. And I'm going to be explaining, if you keep watching, how to find your growth engine and my current growth engine that allows me to make the 500k per year, which I explained at the start. So I'm going to give you all the source. You just need to keep watching, but I need you to understand the importance of this, because I was thinking, what can I put in this video, in this like 15-minute YouTube video that you're watching, that is gonna, or has the capability to change your life? And it's to find a growth engine. It's to find your funnel, your exact like powerhouse of an acquisition channel, essentially. Because without clients, you can't get better at fulfillment. Without appointments, you're not going to get better at sales. So you need to be able to generate interest and attention. And that's what I wanted to make this video about. And hopefully you can see why I'm doing this. So the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle, states that 20% of your effort results in 80% of your results. Now, that's why I'm able to only work a few hours per day, but make disproportionate amounts of money. Because as I said, there are people making $1 million a year, $2 million a year, but I guarantee you they work 8, 10, 12 hours per day, so double the amount that I do. And I could work more. However, I don't want to sacrifice my life experiences, my hobbies. I like to run, and I just don't think the trade-off is worth it for that little bit extra more money, where I could be getting the status from that, but I don't really care about that. But my point is, there is this Pareto principle, and you need to find yours. You need to find your growth engine, and I'm going to explain how in a second. But essentially, to put this easily, the Pareto principle is a small number of causes are responsible for most of the results. And you can see how important this is now. So an analogy, I guess, is if we think about car accidents, to put this simply, you could say that, I don't know if this is true, but it's probably roughly correct, 10% of car drivers cause 40% of accidents, or 30% of accidents. I don't know how correct that is statistically. It's probably not that correct, but the principle is the same, meaning a small number of people or small number of causes are responsible for most of the results. Like the wealth gap, a small number of rich people create the most amount of wealth in the economy. That's just how the world works. So you need to find yours. Now, I'm going to explain how in a second, but I want to give you a super quick example of how Spotify had their growth engine, because it's not just marketing. It could be a referral system. It could be something completely different. And if we think about Spotify, in 2010, they had built a strong base across Europe, but the real prize money was entering the US market. But they couldn't do that because CDs and record labels owned a lot of the music. So they needed licenses, which they didn't have. So their growth engine was simply giving these record labels a percentage of the sales or views or however it worked, and getting into the US market. That was Spotify's growth engine that allowed them to 4x their revenue within 2 years. It was simply breaking into a new market in the US. That was their growth engine. However, you don't have to invent something new. You are doing something which thousands of other people have done. I cannot stress this enough. You are trying to do something, whether that's selling marketing solutions, automation solutions, consulting, AI. You're doing something which thousands of other people have done and succeeded at, which means that you don't need to ponder and think. You just need to replicate the process. So at that time, I was listening to a lot of Hormozi and Russell Brunson. I cannot recommend, if you want to get better at marketing and you want a better career in marketing, if you're doing any marketing at all, read these 3 books by Russell Brunson. The one that helped me the most, I think, was Expert Secrets or Traffic Secrets. You can maybe listen to it on Spotify. That's what I did. But you need to understand funnels. You need to understand growth engines. And if you find your growth engine, you can have anything you want in life. And it's about putting less effort in, but into the more of the right things. And as Hormozi says, the only difference between poor people and rich people is their allocation of resources. Resources being their time, capital, and energy. Where are they allocating those 3 things? And that's the difference. That is the game. That's the difference. And you need to understand that. And you need to understand where they're allocating, or rich people are allocating their time. So everything changed for me when I stopped listening to gurus. I'm talking big revenue jumps. When I stopped listening to gurus, but started replicating their funnel and replicating their process and what they were doing. So an example of this is you can literally go onto Google right now and just search for growing your niche and then YouTube. And what you'll find is I did this for like growing, let's say, a med spa business, and you'll find people in that niche who already have a proven funnel, who already have clients of in the niche that you want to help. So you could do this for real estate, you could do this for coaching. It doesn't really matter. The principle's the same, and that's why I'm giving this to you. And you want to just dissect their funnel, map it out on a Miro board like what I'm doing right now, and you have a proven way of acquiring clients or customers. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's simple in terms of there are proven funnels, proven acquisition channels people are doing, and you just need to replicate it in your own style, in your own story. So you can see this guy, his top funnel back in the day was probably like YouTube. He got a lot of views, especially in like the B2B niche. That is like a lot of views. I don't know if he was in the B2B, but he was helping local business owners. So I can see like junk removal or whatever it is there. But he was getting a lot of views. So that's how strangers found him. They then probably went to his Instagram or another link maybe straight away. But if they went to his Instagram, they would get more clips, just keeping top of mind. And then maybe they would convert by going to his landing page. And that's like his funnel. But you need to find this for people in your niche. Hopefully this is making sense so far. I don't want to confuse you guys. But it's about finding your growth engine. Something that's going to allow you to get clients. And my point is you don't need to come up with this. There are people who are already winning and you need to replicate it. So for me, YouTube was the thing that made me the most amount of money. And the thing about this is once you find or take action on something, just like what I started doing, I was taking action on just random shit. You will eventually find something that does work. So for me, YouTube kind of worked. I was getting data back. And based on this data, I can then optimize, reiterate, and make it better. So I can do more and better. I can see the demographic, so I can tailor my content towards that demographic. I can see when they're on YouTube, so I can post at that time. I can see competitors who they are also watching in terms of you guys, so I can look at their channel, see what videos are doing well on like their channel in terms of trends. So you get what I'm saying. You take action on a platform that is already working in your niche. So for you, that could be Facebook, like it could be ads, it could be TikTok Live. I don't know. Anyone telling you to do one thing probably is lying. I can't decide this for you. You need to do some critical thinking. I can't do everything for you, but I'm giving you the overall framework of how I've been able to kind of become successful at a young age. And I'm hoping this is helping you guys and actually you're kind of understanding this. So for example, YouTube is how strangers find me. On the homepage, looking for like AI or lead generation, and I rank highly on SEO. Maybe then they funnel to my Instagram. I've got that set up correctly in terms of optimizing for nurturing and conversions. And then some people buy through Instagram or Gmail. But the funnel's the same. You have how people find you, how people trust you. To be honest, YouTube is my middle of the funnel and top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel. But you know what? You need to find your funnel. And that's like the most important thing. Because if you don't change behavior after watching this, your life will stay the same. You can read as many books as you want. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want. But the only thing that's going to get you to that new life of yours that you have, and you have a clear vision of it, is by changing your behavior. It's by empirical action, execution. That is how it's done. And I really need you watching this to take action. And just know that whatever you do, it's not a waste of time because you get data back. And if you get data, you can then make reiterations and adjust. And that's what it's about. Speed, getting data, and execution. And I really hope this video has like provided some value to you guys when it comes to finding your growth engine. And it's not going to be a linear journey because it wasn't for me. I went months and months without being able to get a single client, and then suddenly, boom, everything happens. Nothing happens until everything happens. And that is the same with life, it's the same with business. And it's just the compounding effect. So you need to be consistent. Being consistently good is better than being occasionally great. And I need you to understand that, because once you find something that works and you're getting some interest from your market, become the best at it. Study it. Do more and better. Don't do something new when you find something working. There's going to be temptations, but you just have to stick with one thing once you find it. And if you're starting and you haven't found it, you're in the hardest part of the entire journey. By far. It's like starting a fire. It's like gathering the wood. You're trying different things. But once you get that fire going, it's like you just need to add wood to it. You need to just add more volume to it. add more, ingredient, bits of woods to it. But when you're starting, it's hard. You have to light that fire, and it's not easy, and you have to go through different stuff. But if you have that vision of what you want in your head, it's there for a reason. You probably will achieve it. It's just a matter of time, consistency, and action. And I wish you all the best. If you want to like the video, you can. If you want to subscribe, you can. I'm not selling you anything. There'll be stuff in the description, but I don't want to make that the point of this video. I just wanted to provide some value in how I've been able to find my growth engine to make this money and a bit on my story. So take it easy, guys. Watch the video up here, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video.